Hey everybody, welcome back to Juju's Journey. Whew, Merry Christmas. It's 12:51 a.m. It's officially Christmas. I've had the best day. Um, Welcome to Juju's Journey. This is my journey, trying to find my way back to happiness, and today was a good day. What did I do today? Oh, I woke up, I did last minute little running around. I went and got some gift cards, $10 gift cards. Those are the only ones I could find and they were only to Burger King. And I got 6 of them. And so when I went to the grocery store, I gave the cashier one and the little bag boy one. Then I went to a convenience store and grabbed some gum and things like that, and I gave those cashiers one. Then I ran into a little store, and anyway, I just went around, and everybody that waited on me that had to work on Christmas Eve, I gave them a little goodie, and that made me feel good. And then went next door, helped finish getting the house in order, children's toys, puzzle pieces, things like that. Things that got messed up from yesterday until today. And then I went to a Christmas Eve service, took my granddaughter. We had communion. And I went with my other daughter and her fiance and his family. And it was so nice. And my little 6-year-old granddaughter loved it so much. We had so much fun. And then I took her and we went and looked at Christmas lights. And then went back, ate dinner with my daughter next door. Made cookies for Santa. Made reindeer food, put the reindeer food out. Then was able to help tuck in my granddaughter. Then we had to wait until everybody was asleep. And then the fun began. Oh my goodness, it was Santa busy. This granddaughter, you've got to understand, we love arts, like painting and doing all the things. And anyway, she got the best art table. I'm blown away. It's beautiful, and it tilts. It's like a drafting table, art table. It has a place for every single thing you can imagine, and it's beautiful. It's even got a slide out, and it's like heavy duty. Like, it's not a kid version, it's a grown-up version. And she is going to love it. And she has a pink computer chair that they bought to go with it. Fancy swancy. And then all the art stuff. Anything you can imagine, art stuff. And of course the clothes and the socks and the Barbie. And then we have the 1-year-old who just turned 1 October. So he's got the big Tonka truck and just all the little things that 1-year-olds like. And the stockings are stuffed and hung. Well, they can't hang anymore. They're leaning by the fireplace. And it's absolutely wonderful. Mom and Daddy are kind of getting ill at each other. I had to tell them both to just chill out. It was all because of the last minute boxes that needed to be hidden to go out in the trash. In the rolls of wrapping paper. The husband said he would just trash it. And the wife said, or my daughter said, "You can't throw away the wrapping paper. Have you lost your mind?" And so they went back and forth. He's like, "Just trash it. We'll buy more next year." And she's like, anyway, that was their little banter. But everybody's tired. Everybody's worn out. Santa had to put that desk together and in the workshop and then bring it inside. And It was fun. We had to take lots of evidence away. And so it's time to go to bed. And I said, okay, I'm going to get upstairs and I'm probably going to jump in the shower, get this makeup off my face, and get in my little pajamas and wait on that phone call. I'm sure little Miss Prisspot and little Mr. Prince will be up bright and early, and I'll get that phone call bright and early, and we'll get to go see the reaction from Santa. And then all of my children and my other grandson will be at the house tomorrow. And I can't wait. My heart's going to be full. And it's going to be a good day. And I'm so excited. And I'm so happy. My thoughts have been of my husband all day. I'm trying not to cry. But especially tonight during the Christmas, Jesus was born. And he died so we could have everlasting life. And it does give me peace knowing that if my husband had a choice, he would not come back. He wouldn't want to be here. But it just makes it hard on us that are left here. But he would have had so much fun watching all of this play out. Well, we're not going to have the typical Christmas dinner tomorrow. We started out, we were going to get a prime rib roast. And then everybody said prices had gone up so high that was silly. So we decided to do roast. We're going to put one roast in a crock pot with anjou. And then we're going to put another roast with all the typical, fixins. They're both going to be a little bit different. And then we're going to have cream-style corn, mashed potatoes, and butter beans. And then my son-in-law, just out of the blue, decided he is going to make homemade Chick-fil-A chicken. So he's got peanut oil. He's got the chicken marinating in the refrigerator. Then he's going to deep fry that. But he also saw another recipe where you smoke a ham. And the ham is already smoked. So he smoked it for 8 hours. I think he had to smoke it. Maybe a little bit longer. But before I left the house, he had taken it off and you shred it. Oh my goodness. We tasted it. It's wonderful. I've never even thought about having ham like that. So we're just going to have an array of different kinds of food tomorrow. It's not going to be a typical Christmas dinner. And it's going to be so good. And I can't wait. And I am so, so, so tired. But I bet when I go to bed, I'm probably not going to be able to go to sleep. I feel like it's going to be one of those nights that my mind and my brain will not shut down. But that's just the way it goes, right? It's going to be a busy next 2 days, 2 more days, like tomorrow all day long. And then we have to turn around on the 26th and do it again. Boy, oh boy. But this is early. Gosh, this is early. I have a feeling that the older the kids get, it'll be later and later, just like it was for me and Sid. Oh goodness, we'd be up half the night. And then get up bright and early. But I wouldn't change a minute of it. And I don't know how you do it in your families. And I used to fuss. I just couldn't understand why in the world did his mom and my mom, she was my aunt, but like my mom, they both insisted that they would have Christmas at lunchtime, 12 o'clock, every year. And my mother, or my aunt, who was like my mom, she was the matriarch of the family. And so that meant all of, my aunts and uncles and children that still lived in the area, I went to her house. And so that would be so many people and so much fun. But she would have it at 12 o'clock. 12 o'clock on the dot, lunch would be ready, and it would be everything you can imagine. The ham, the turkey, the mac and cheese, the da-da-da-da-da. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And she'd have it ready at 12 o'clock. 12 o'clock, it would be ready, and blessing would be said, and it would be time to eat. Well, I would have, I told you I was fortunate enough. I have 2 bonus daughters. And when they were little, we would have to go pick them up. And they'd have to come over to see what Santa brought at our house. But we would have to wait because typically they spent Christmas Eve at their mom's and woke up to Santa there. And then we would go get them and do Santa at our house, and then we would have them. But we would also have to be dressed in another town at 12 o'clock. And of course, we'd run late sometimes. We had no choice because things don't always go just as planned. And they would always laugh. And they would say, "We're waiting on you. We're waiting on you." And I would beg them, "Y'all just go ahead and start eating." By the time we'd get here, the last person would still be fixing their plate. But they would always wait on us. And then, of course, my husband's mom wanted us at her house at the same time. So we got to the point where we would alternate years. And I would beg, why don't we just do Christmas Eve with the parents and let the children be home for Christmas? And then the grandparents can just go and enjoy visiting all of their children. My mother-in-law, all of her children lived in my home where I live now. But I'm only 20 minutes away from where my family lives. So they could get up, have their little Christmas, and then just get in the car and drive and eat lunch at all of their kids' houses. But they wouldn't hear of it. We would have to travel and go, but I'm not going to do that to my kids. I'm never going to do that. I want the grandbabies to, my children can fight it out over whose house they're going to have it. And then if we ever get back to me hosting again, then we will let them come at their leisurely pace and eat whenever we decide to eat, like when it gets done. But hopefully I'll have a compound one day, and my compound will have one building with several stoves and ovens and every kitchen gadget you can imagine. Several little sinks, or not little sinks, big sinks. Probably a cement floor that we can even rinse out with a water hose. But a huge table and just a big, big, big place with, couches and chairs and probably a fireplace. That's the first thing that's going to be built. Doesn't have to be fancy. And then we'll start eating Sunday meals there. And nobody will have to clean their house and do anything. And then at Christmas, we'll just all go cook and spend the day together there. And then people can get on their little ATVs and drive themselves home. Right now I live in the middle of town, and I can, my house is actually closer to both of my neighbors than what I am from my bedroom right now. Like the corner of the side of my house and the side of my daughter's house. If I took off walking right now, it would take me longer to get to my bedroom than it would be if I were standing on the outside of my house to walk over and touch her house. And if I get my compound, we'll be way out in the country, and that would be so nice. And then all the little cousins could grow up together. We would be lots of acres away from each other. You know, I thought it would be cool if all the guys got together and we built a building that had the huge kitchen, but it would be cool to have like a garage area so that had even a lift so they could work on their stuff. My son has a tractor, but then we could get something else that was a little bit different that we would need. And just have a set of tools that never leave. And then everybody could build their little houses and take care of their little piece of land, but then the rest of it would be free range for everybody. That's my dream. And I hope that happens. So, it could very easily. But that's why the budgeting's got to come in. I've got to be very wise. My children are smart. From the time they graduated high school, they've been independent, all of them. But they had no choice, With 5 kids, you have to make your way, And they're all self-sufficient and they do good for themselves. So they could all build a house. I just need to have enough money to build a granny shack, I'm trying to figure out the logistics. So, I don't know. It's a fun thing. Fun, fun, fun. We can always dream, right? But it would be really nice if we were spending, I don't foresee that being next Christmas, but possibly the Christmas after. But I don't think we'd have houses yet. So I don't know. Somebody at this point, they all have to drive home. I mean, they don't have to. Oh, I'm so tired. Whew. It's a good tired. But my Christmas wish is to make my husband proud. So, I know he's here. And I hope he's happy, watching us be happy. I know he is. I mean, he wouldn't want us to be sad. So, there's that. Anyway, I wanted to hop on. I'm going to say Merry Christmas and that I survived another day. And if I can do it, you can do it too. It's hard, but it's getting bearable. It's getting bearable. And we will be just fine. I'm not the only person. I mean, every single human on the face of this earth is going to lose someone that they love. I mean, I've lost 2 moms. That's really hard. And a spouse. But everybody is going to lose somebody. Unless your spouse dies, y'all die together, you're going to lose your spouse or he's going to lose you. Or vice versa, however it goes. And that's sad. but it is, and we're all going to die. I'm not afraid of dying, but I almost died, and I did have an angel. I'll have to tell y'all about that one day. That's quite remarkable. But no, I did. They had to boot me back. And I was a sick person. But I had an angel. She was a black lady, beautiful, with long dreadlocks. And the whole time they were running me, they were running with me on the hospital bed, getting me into an emergency surgery. And the whole entire time she was holding my head, they put me under. The anesthesiologist put me under in the elevator. Didn't even make it to the operating room. But going up in the elevator, she was at my head, and she was rubbing my head and whispering in my ear. And she kept saying, "You're going to be okay. God's with you. You're going to be fine. He's with you. God is with you. He is looking out for you. You're going to be just fine." Well, I kept asking where she was. I was in the hospital for 3-4 weeks. 3.5, I think. And they said nobody worked there that met that description. All of the nurses I had that day did stay until after my surgery was over. Because, anyway, it doesn't matter. That's a long story. But my main thing is my angel. I can see her right now. And so I do know that we do have angels. And that gives me a lot of joy, knowing that. I hope my husband had an angel that day. I know he did. But I hope his angel gave him as much comfort as my angel did. Because she just calmed me down so much. So much she calmed me down. My husband was in the elevator with me. My doctor was in the elevator with me. The anesthesiologist was not. Oh, the preacher was in the elevator with me. There were 2 doctors. And when they opened up the elevators, when the anesthesiologist was there. So I did roll out of the elevator, but he put me under right time I got off the elevator. And I was under before I even... I'm sure they did more, but they went ahead and started me. I counted backwards and made it to like 2. But that was a long... All I know is Dilaudid is some strong stuff. You know you have to come off of Dilaudid when you start hallucinating. Like it's time. But Christmas is all about Jesus' birthday. Don't forget. Okay? The reason for the season. And I'm going to leave y'all with Merry Christmas and have a Happy New Year. But I'll see you again because I'm going to keep making these until it starts getting more fun. But may the Lord bless you and protect you. And may the Lord smile down on you and be gracious to you. And may the Lord show you his favor and give you his peace. And that's number 6, 24 through 26. Wait a minute. I got to tell you something else. So my grandson that lives in another state, I think in a video I showed you how I was going to layer his little money and then let it pop out of the box. So anyway, I had money because he got $100, but I had denominations of 10s and I think like maybe 2 20s, 10s and 5s. And some 1s. And so I had them, so when the boxes popped out, the money would go with the confetti. But I told his mom when she videoed, FaceTime. And I said he's got to open up the card. And the card was one of those money cards. And I had taped a $1 bill to the over on the side. And he was like, "Thank you, Juju." And his mom was like, "Well, what did you get?" And he goes, "I got $1." And she said, no, that's what she said. Then she said, "Well, what do you tell Juju?" And he said, "Thank you. Thank you so much for my gift." And she said, "Wait a minute. You do have another gift from Juju." And he's like, "Really?" And then she let him open the other one. And all of this money went flying out. He was so excited. He was, "There's another one. There's another one." And he was getting it and he put it all in piles. And he was so excited. But the funny thing is he honestly thought he had a $1. It was priceless. I wish I could I could have videotaped it because we were FaceTiming. I don't know how to video while we're FaceTiming. But boy, that was funny. Cute, cute, cute. So cute. But I'm gonna yawn again. Oh, I'm gonna go get in the shower. I just had to do the PS about my grandson. Today's been a good day. Night. Merry Christmas.